Hashem, Elokeinu El Echad, Tzadik Hashem, Bechol Drachav, Bechassid B'ma'asav. Shema Yisrael Hashem, Elokeinu El Echad, Avinu El HaMeyuchad.
When you consider Hashem as a father, as a mother, He will be next to you.
ברשות רבי רבותיי, ברשות השם. I think most of you understand English, yes?
Yeah.
בסדר? In this week parasha, we say how Hashem prepared the Jews to build the Mishkan, to build the Beit HaMikdash. Like here Baruch Hashem, we have a house, the house of Hashem. It was a preparation to build the Beit HaMikdash, and before this preparation to build the Beit HaMikdash, the Bnei Israel, the Jews, they saw Nisim v'Niflaot. It's not easy to accept the Judaism for those who left Egypt. And Hashem, He had to prove them, He had to show them who He is. Until the Jews, they did not see what Hashem can do, they were very weak. You know this. It's an experience that we have till today. Hashem, He showed the Bnei Israel, Egypt, what He can do. And then when they left Egypt, that's what we do, Pesach. Pesach is to remember our history, from where we come from. We were nothing. We were slaves, and from slaves we become people. And that was very important for Hashem to show the Bnei Israel who He is. And then the Jews, they left Egypt, they received the Torah. But before they received the Torah, Hashem showed them something else. They crossed the sea. And here, what I would like to explain to you, when they cross the sea, we say every day in Azesh Moshe, Ze Eli ve'alvehu. Hashem, He manifests Himself in the sea. And everybody saw something. What did they see? What they saw? Ze Eli ve'alvehu. They point out, this is Hashem. The question is, the only time that a man can see Hashem before he dies. Before a person dies, he can see Hashem. To see Hashem before to remain alive, it's impossible. It's impossible. So how do you understand that they saw every day? For those who pray every day, as Moshe, they will repeat, Ze Eli ve'alvehu. And we sing this on Shabbat. Ze Eli. They point out, this is Hashem. The Gemara said, even those women or those people that they were very, very low, spiritually, they saw something, they point out this is Hashem. But the question is big. It's impossible to say Hashem. Who can say Hashem in Romanian life? No one. So how do you explain this so Hashem? I want to just tell you something. There is people who see and there is people who can't see. The one who wants to see, he sees. And the one who doesn't want to see, he doesn't see. It's up to the people. And here, when the Jews crossed the sea, HaKadosh Baruch Hu opened their eyes to see. There is no blind. Like the Ramchal, there is a big tzaddik, Ramchal said, there is two kinds of blindness. There is somebody who is blind from birth. Since he was born, he is blind. And there is another kind of blind. A man who wants to see, who can see, but he don't want to see. But here, sometimes there is a reality. Sometimes there is a truth. Sometimes there is an emet. You cannot avoid the emet. Even if you close your eyes, not to see. I don't want to see. But sometimes it's more than you. You cannot to avoid a fact. This is the emet. So I think the Jews, when they cross the sea, they reach this high level of emet. They reach this high level to see the emet. And even that today people, let's talk something, let's face something. I'm sorry to tell you this. Sometimes we know cigarette is dangerous. I mean, this is the fact. But people prefer not to talk about cigarette. But the fact is, it's dangerous. This is a fact. This is, you cannot disagree with me. This is emet. Cigarette is no good. But people, they don't want to. It's okay. Maybe it's dangerous for other people, not for me. But if there is somebody who can explain to that man who smokes, this is dangerous, I think he will stop. Because you cannot deny the fact, you cannot deny the emet. You cannot deny something that is true. The Jews, when they crossed the sea, it was so clear that there is Hashem. So they proclaim, Ze Eli ve'alvehu. They proclaim, this is Hashem, that's it. There is no questions about it. This is the emet. You know, my friend? When you read the Torah, when Hashem gave the Torah to the Bnei Israel, it said, Vaye'o et hakolot, they saw the voice. Usually, we hear the voice. You cannot see a voice, you hear a voice. What that means? They saw the voice. Vaye'o et hakolot. Who can see a voice? No one can see a voice. But the Torah said that they saw the voice. Vaye'o et hakolot. I think this is, for this question, it's the same answer. I mean, the voice was so clear. They had no doubt about what they heard. It was clear. It's like they saw something. It's like you see this paper. This is a paper. It's not a cigarette. It's a paper. What I have in my hand, it's not money. It's paper. I mean, no one can come and tell me this is a check. No, it's paper. So this is paper. I mean, this is the truth. So the Bnei Israel as well, they achieved this truth. Now I would like to tell you something, experience that I had. I would like to tell you that sometimes there is things that we cannot avoid. Just a few weeks ago, there was a couple who came that there is a problem between them. And I was the one to try to make peace between them. And I did not reach I did not know from where to start, from where to begin, from where to end. It was really a big fight between them. Each one, he would not agree. At least if you have two people who if you want to make an arrangement between them, at least if they listen to you, or they will give you a chance to talk to them. But no one give me a chance to talk. She talk, and then when I want to give some suggestion, she would not let me carry on. And then that was the same with the husband. So I told them, you know what? I leave you between both of you talk. I don't know what I'm doing here. And I stand up and I left the office. So they said, what's going on? I said, but give me a chance to talk. I heard you and I heard you. Now I want to talk. They said, okay, Rabbi David, sit down, please help us. Again, they will not give me a chance to talk. So I took a decision that I just sit and listen. So I was like a psychologue, sitting and listening. And they talked for 2 hours. They finished. They were tired from talking. They had nothing to talk about. Everything was said, and now they look at me. And I told them, you heard what she said? He said yes. You heard what he said? She said yes. Now who's right? You tell me who's right. You, both of you will tell me. And again, they started again to fight again. So I told him, madam, the best way is, you're wrong, this is the emet, this is the truth. And I started to talk to them nicely, to explain them that both of them are right. But because both of them are right, there'll be no agreement. Because both of them are right. So there is nothing. Because both of them are right, so they have to divorce. So then they started to understand that they have to talk the truth. So then they started to talk again, they started to ask questions, and then we came to an agreement, a real agreement, and then they realized that both of them were wrong, and both of them they lied, and they were. And finally, there is no use to get divorced for nothing. My friend, with Hashem, it's not the same. If we have to talk, if we don't have an argument with Hashem, the one who is right is Hashem. The one who is wrong is us. So we have no. If we have to go to an agreement with Hashem, we will lose. But when a man opens his eyes, open his ear, he will see the emet. He will see the truth. And in those moments of Kriyat Yam Suf, when the Jews crossed the sea, and those moments that the Jews, they heard the voice of Hashem, Anochi Hashem, so they have no question. They could only say, yes, Hashem, you're right. You know what the Chafetz Chaim said? The Chafetz Chaim said, all a Jew problem is because they think, I am. But when a Jew will decide and say, Anochi, Ani is Hashem, there is no one. You know what it is? Ani, me, who are you? Only Hashem can say, I am. And Ani, me, Anochi. Hashem, he can't say, I am, Anochi. But a man, he cannot. Because a man is a man. The Chafetz Chaim said, when a man will realize who is Hashem, so we will have no questions. The only question we have question when we think we have to compete with somebody else. But who can compete? Who can do competition with Hashem? Nobody. No one. I would like to tell you, my friend, about Yitro. And then I want to tell you this. Because Be'ezat Hashem, please God, now we prepare ourselves for Purim, and then for Purim Pesach. Already already, 2 days is Rosh Chodesh, Wednesday night is Rosh Adar. And Adar already, I remember when I was in Morocco, when I was a baby, I remember when Adar came, when the month of Adar came, already we started to smell Pesach coming. And Pesach is something, Pesach it's already, it's something above everything. Pesach is Emunah, it's to believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when you do Pesach, so you prepare yourself for Matan Torah. It's something incredible. I would like to tell you this. When Yitro, the Torah said, Vayishma Yitro. Yitro heard. And I'm sure that all of you here you have Emunah. All of you here make the best they can to be close to Hashem. All of you here, each one here, does something to connect himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, each one his way. But what it impressed me, my father, he was a rabbi, my grandfather. Since I was a baby, we grow with Emunah. I mean, we grow with to believe in Hashem. I mean, it's not, we did not do a teshuvah. We knew Hashem since we were a baby. We knew Hashem. It's like, baby, it's like we grow with Hashem. This is the word that I can tell you. We grow with Hashem since we were a baby. But not just we grow with Hashem like that, Hashem. We grow with Emunah. With Mamash Emunah. To believe that there is Hashem. When you pray to Hashem, we know to whom we pray. We feel the tefillah. We feel the pray. When Shabbat is coming, we feel what it is Shabbat. This is the way we grow. I remember one day, I had a big problem on Friday. A big problem. Money problem to pay. And I was a little bit, excited. So I thought to myself, the only way that I have to make myself happy before Shabbat is just to take a book, a Torah book, and study. And to prepare a show, a lecture for the yeshiva. That's what I did. And Baruch Hashem, the midday Shabbat came, and I was smiling, I was happy. So my children, they told me, Papa, did you fix your problem? I said, which problem? Which one? Which problem? He said, but Papa, you had a problem. I said, problem? Who does have problems? But when Shabbat comes, we don't forget about the problems. Now it's Shabbat. And after Shabbat, again my children, they asked me, but you did not answer us about the problem that you had on Friday. Did you fix it or not? I said, no, I did not fix it. So they said, but you look happy. You look smiling. It's like you fix it. I said, well, this is the Shabbat. The Shabbat gives you strength to face problems again. They are the same problem. When Shabbat comes, the problems are the problems. But with the Emunah of Shabbat, so you can face those problems again with more Emunah. So Be'ezrat Hashem, because we will help. If he help, good. If he doesn't help, so we have Emunah, who knows what HaKadosh Baruch Hu, up to now, Baruch Hashem, we did face problems. And never we said, no, this problem is finished. No, Baruch Hashem, you must have Emunah. But I learned a lot from Yitro. And Yitro, that's why I told you before, we grow with Hashem, we grow with Emunah. Because that was a part of the education that our parents gave us. That we believe what we don't see. That's the way we grow. By Oitakolot. Even if they tell us, you see this, I would like to tell you, in Morocco, on Pesach, I don't know if you do this or not. When we do Pesach, when we open the door after Birkat Hamazon, and we welcome Eliyahu Navi to the room. We say, Baruch haba Eliyahu, Baruch haba, welcome Eliyahu. And I remember when I was 6-7 years old, and I saw my father going to the door and opened the door. He said, Baruch haba Eliyahu. We saw it was nothing. So I said to my father, Papa, did you see him? He said, I saw who? He said, Eliyahu. He said, and you saw him? I said, no. He said, well, when you go, you will see. When you go, you will see. So I thought maybe next year. So the day after, again, Shivor Hamad Chayla Goyim, we saw my father Al going to the door, and he opened the door, and he said, Baruch haba, tfaddal, come, he's the room. And unfortunately, again, we saw right, left, behind my father, we saw that there was nothing. And we asked the question, Papa, you saw him? He said, and you saw him? I said, no. Well, what did we see? So we got married. And when we got married, we carry on the customs of the parents. So the first Pesach home with the children, I stand up to open the door, and I said, Baruch haba Eliyahu, come in. And Raphael, my son, Moshe, he said, Papa, you saw him? I said, and you saw him? So he said, no. So, Be'ezat Hashem, you will go, you will see. And that's the way we grow. And 2 years ago, my oldest son, Raphael, is married with five children. And he said, Papa, I must tell you something incredible. I said, what? He told me this year. He said, I did what you did. I said, what do you mean? I said, when I was by my father-in-law, Pesach, and I did what you did. I opened the door at the church, Baruch haba Eliyahu, and my son Chaim, he asked me, Papa, he's 3 years old, Papa, where is Eliyahu? So I asked him, Chaim, did you see him? He said, no. So I told him, well, Be'ezat Hashem, where you will go, you will see. So you see, we saw nothing. Finally, we saw nothing. Eliyahu Navi, we don't know him. We say, Zekis Eliyahu. There is a Brit Milah. Everybody is excited. Where is Eliyahu? We know he is. We have Emunah. He's there. We don't see him, but he is there. Can't you see? Even the people that are not religious, they will do the Brit Milah. They will spend money on the Brit Milah. Maybe they will not do other mitzvot, but the Brit Milah, they will do it. And the Brit Milah, it's a big sacrifice, the Brit Milah. I mean, it's dangerous, but they will do it. Even if they don't believe, even if they keep no Shabbat, they keep nothing, maybe they will tell you what they will not believe in, God forbid. But the Brit Milah, they will do it. And what's the difference? Why the Brit Milah, they will do it, and other things, they won't do it. You know why? Because that's what the parents teach them. It's a part of their education. Because the parents, even if the parents were not religious, but they teach their children, hey, no matter what I am, no matter what you will be, but do the Brit Milah to your children. So you see, if a father can give that kind of education to his child for the Brit Milah, which it's a sacrifice, so if he teaches his children other things, they will do it. And for me, the Brit Milah, it's something that we don't see. I mean, can you imagine? Ze Kiseh Eliyahu Navi. This is the Kiseh. This is the chair of Eliyahu Navi. Zachor Tov. Where is it? Where is Eliyahu? We don't see him. We don't see him. And we believe. This is, Rabotai, believe me, it's up to us. You see, a Jew like me, I never saw Eliyahu Navi. I never saw Eliyahu. Since I was a baby, I heard the way my father was looking. You know, I will never forget the way he was looking at the door. I mean, this image, it's here. I will not forget this image. The way he was looking. Bemet, it's like I'm looking at you now. I'm looking at you. You know that I look at you. And you look at me. The way he was looking, it's like he was looking at something. But we saw nothing. But he was looking at something. And that's what we do as well. Bemet, when I opened the door on Pesach and to say, welcome Eliyahu, I look at nothing. But I see something. But it is nothing. This is Emunah. Ze Eli ve'alvehu. When you are convinced of something, you see what you don't see. This is a part, this is the way, it's a conviction that you pray. You pray. You think that your tefillah, you do something with your tefillah, you think when you pray, it's going somewhere. It's going somewhere or not? Of course, yes. Of course, but otherwise what do we do in the synagogue? Why do we come? Why, if on Yom Kippur somebody told me one day, I feel nothing, that's why I don't go. So I asked him, what about Kippur? Do you go on Yom Kippur? He said, yes. I said, why? What's the difference? Why do you think Hashem, He is here to listen to Tefillah on Yom Kippur? So otherwise, why our rabbis, they say that we have to pray every day 3 times a day? It's enough if we go into Yom Kippur. If Hashem listen to the Tefillah on Yom Kippur, so we don't need to go every day. No. Hashem, He listens to the Tefillah every day. And you must have emunah. Be'emet, HaKadosh Baruch Hu listen to the Tefillah every day. And that be'emet, I was so proud of Yitro. Yitro is not Jew. He's not a Jew, Yitro. He's not, it was Avodah Zarah, it was a big idolatry, Yitro. Nothing. He heard a story. He saw nothing. Only he heard. He heard how the Jews crossed the sea. And he heard that Amalek came to fight them. And he came to become Jew. And he came to the desert. I mean, Yitro, what? Understand if he saw something. Understand if he saw something, so that's why he come. But he only listened. Maybe what he listened is not true. No. He listened. He made from what he listened, he made it true, and he came. Now that give me a big kawah this year. I was when I learned from Yitro. Can you imagine? I'm Jewish. I saw, I heard. They teach me. I was brought up as a Jew since I was a baby. It's normal that I believe, but Yitro, he saw nothing. He saw nothing, only he heard. And he came. What's that? I would like to tell you something. What did Yitro heard exactly? What he heard? You know what he heard? You know, last week we spent Shabbat on Montrouge, a place, in Paris for Shabbat. And there was a man with long hair, He came after Shabbat. He said, this is the first Shabbat I spent. In my life, I never did Shabbat. This is the first Shabbat. It's very good. He said, I feel something. I said, what did you feel? I don't know, I feel something. And he was looking around. I said, what? I feel he couldn't talk. I said, please talk. What did you feel? He said, I can't explain to you. He said, you know, Rabbi, if you eat something, you know what it tastes like if you eat chocolate. You know it's chocolate because you know it's chocolate. But if you don't know that it's chocolate, but you will say it's sugar because it's sweet. But you will never know what kind of taste. I said, yes, so what do you mean? He said, I cannot explain to you what I feel. I said, please, you are talking. So if you talk, you have to talk till the end. What do you mean you feel something? What? You feel what? Chocolate? Chicken? What did you feel? Eating the man? What did you feel? I said, no. You know, Rabbi, that was Shabbat. Yes, so. And Shabbat, it's Shabbat. It's the holiness of Shabbat. So I feel some holiness. So I ask him, what does mean holiness? What's this? Even me, I don't know what it is holy, man. I don't know what it is holy. In you never keep Shabbat in your life. You tell me you feel a light, you feel something. What's this? He couldn't give me an answer. He had no answer. You know, for that, there is no answer. Each one of us here can feel what the other one cannot feel. It's the same lecture that I'm telling you to all of you, and each one, he will understand something that the other one will not understand. Because all of us here, each one has a neshama. Each one, his neshama, she needs something that only can understand it. A lot of times, after a show, people tell me, you talked about me. I said, no. And each one said, you know, your lecture was completely for me. I said, I didn't mention your name. Your story, I know your story. The other one knows his story. And I didn't talk about your story. This is the Torah. The Torah, Shiv'im Panim la Torah. This is no one, the Kedusha, what he feels, he cannot, because each Jew has something of HaKadosh Baruch Hu on him. And that's why you have to open your eyes. Understand? I mean, you have to, when you drive, you cannot talk to somebody and drive. You have to drive, because you can't carry on driving and talking to that man. And you drive, and you accelerate as well. But you never know when you get in. You will never know what can happen if you don't look straight where you drive. I mean, you can't drive and look to somebody. You know, we are not automatic. We're not like a plane. You can put it in automatic and it goes. No. We are not automatic. We are manual. We are manual. We have to work. We have to work. We are not children that we have to take his hand and walk with him and give him to eat. We are adults. And we have to look straight. Not do like that. You have to look. That's Yitro. Yitro, when he decides, as I told you before, the Jews, when they crossed the sea, they achieved the Emet. They achieved the true. They cannot they cannot ignore the truth. They say, this is the truth, this is Hashem. That's it. And because they reached this high level, so Hashem, he did a demonstration. Okay, you arrived to that level, you can see me now. Now, did it saw Hashem or not? Of course, they did not see exactly Hashem, but they felt the presence of Hashem, and that's the right moment. And when they heard the voice of Hashem as well, by Itakolot, they saw the voices. They achieved that level that the one who's talking to them is Hashem. They cannot ignore it. So Yitro too, he cannot ignore the reality. He feels something, so he cannot ignore it. So quick, he came. You know what made Yitro to come? The Jews. Because he heard the Jews that they are not, because Yitro it's not miracles that they push him to become Jew. Yitro, he knows that a Jew, all his life is miracles. I promise you, Rabotai, my friends, all my life, I see the hand of Hashem. I will not mention, it's a miracle. No, this hand of Hashem. When you wake up in the morning, it's a miracle. I was like a dead man. I woke up. No, this is the hand of Hashem. Hashem watch you when you sleep. Hashem watch you when you drive. People drive a car, and thanks God they arrive home. A lot of people took the same way, and they made a crash and they died. Last Shabbat, one of our students, Barry's 20-year-old, he died in a crash. 20-year-old. He was supposing he was in a shiur last week. Every week, every Thursday he come to the shiur. On Saturday night, he took his car. It wasn't even his fault. It wasn't his fault. Just another taxi didn't stop, and he did not stop in the traffic light. They killed him right away. They buried him yesterday morning. How can you? Baruch Hashem, we take the same. How many times? 2 weeks ago, I was going to the airport, and just like that, I said to the driver, "Please do me a favor, don't go fast." He said, "But it's green. I said, "No, please do me a favor, don't do fast. Do me a favor, Behemet, I'm not a prophet. It just has the Hashem. Please slow down." And he slowed down. There was a big guy, a drunk man. He did not stop in his traffic light, and he passed. He told me, "Rabbi David." I said, "Yeah." "How did you know?" "Hashem." The time it did not come yet. Hashem. ממש, ויראו את הקולות. ויראו. You see. If you open your eyes, you see, ממש, Hasdei Hashem. And I think, my friend, Yitro, he was amazed by the Jews. They arrived to the sea. They didn't know how to swim. And he heard that the Jews, they went to the sea. And they have children. You must be crazy. Just between you and me. If we go all together to the sea, and I would ask you, "Hey, let's cross the sea." Let's get in. And the sea will divide. Who will believe me? No one will believe me. Maybe people will think I'm crazy. But those Jews, when they heard Moshe Rabbeinu told them, "Let's go. Hashem wants us to cross the sea. Let's go. But we don't know how to swim. Let's go." And they went. They went to the sea. It's a Mesirut Nefesh. Mamash, it's a sacrifice. So for somebody who doesn't know how to drive, somebody who doesn't know how to swim, and to enter the sea, it's crazy. It's like Kiddush Hashem. It's like they give their soul for Hashem. It's like they give up their neshama for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means people who give their neshama for Hashem. To be Jew is not easy to be Jew. To eat kosher, to respect Shabbat, to put tefillin. Do you think after 120 years, we will say to Hashem, "Hashem, I give a lot of tzedakah, I give a lot of money." Hashem will tell you, "You give from what I give you. I give you. I choose you to give you. I could give to somebody else. But what did you do for me?" That's what I want to know. The money that you give, okay, thank you. You give how much? Millions of dollars? I'll give you as well millions of dollars. But what did you give me? What did you do for me? That's what I actually want to know. What kind of sacrifice you did for me? Did you put tefillin? Did you go to the mikveh? Did you respect Shabbat? That's what I actually want to know. This is to live in Hong Kong, to keep Shabbat, to eat kosher, to go to the mikveh. It's a big miracle. It's a miracle. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yitro, that's what he heard. He heard Jews that did not know how to drive, how to swim, and they crossed. They went to the sea, and then Hashem considered that the way they behaved, it's like they died on Kiddush Hashem, so they had a zichut to see what no one can see. Be'emet, I promise you, when a person do a sacrifice for Hashem, so Hashem does a sacrifice for him as well. And I would like to tell you something private. Last year, I did some exams. Routine exams. And by 4 o'clock, Marciano, the secretary, he told me, Rabbi, I have a bad news for you. I said, what? He said, your exams are no good. They're no good. I said, what? He said, they're no good. So he called my doctor. When the doctor he heard about the results, he left everything and he came. And I saw his face. I saw that he was not happy. He took the exams, he said, he looked at him like that. He said, well, Rabbi David, they are no good. He said they are no good. But if you do good things for Hashem, Akash Baruch Hu can change everything. Let's do them again today. He said, but if they are not good, they are not good. So what can we do? He said, we do the same exams again now. Now, at that moment, I had a shiur. I was receiving people, and after 1 hour, I had to go to give a shiur. So I was on my own in the office. In the meantime, the doctor came, took again blood, some for more tests, and I said to Hashem, Ribono shel Olam, after what I heard now, I cannot sit and receive people because they have problems, and now I have a problem. I need somebody to receive me. I need somebody to give me some. So I have you. So I will carry on receiving people. Hashem. What about the shiur? Hashem, I will do the shiur as well. Like nothing happened. So I do something for you. So now you do something for me. I promise you. 3 hours later, I was by finishing the shiur, and I told the yeshiva, the student, I told them, I tell you my story. At that right moment that I'm talking to you, I have a big problem. But I have emunah that my problem, it's over. It's not a problem because I know when you do a sacrifice for Hashem, Hashem answers with a sacrifice. And I saw William Marciano coming, and he said, with a smile, I understood that it's over. I said, well, I think it was a mixed up. It was a wrong, maybe nothing. It's nothing. Was it something or was nothing? I don't know. All what I know is when you do a sacrifice for Hashem, so Hashem does something else for you. That's what I can tell you. That's what Yitro heard. He heard the sacrifice that the Jews did, that they crossed the sea. They went to the water with their children without knowing how to swim. Only because Hashem, He said, go, cross. So Yitro understood. If Hashem asked from the Jews to do something so hard to do, and they did it, so I'm sure any mitzvah that He will give them, they will do it. That made him to come. That made him to come. But he heard something else. You know what? Now you understand. Even we said they saw something, they saw Hashem. So what? Maybe they saw Hashem. Maybe they saw Hashem. So you will ask me, how can you say Hashem? But no one can say Hashem is and alive. Yes, because they did Misirot Nefesh, Kiddush Hashem. Can you imagine somebody who walk into the water? He knows, he doesn't know how to swim. That means he's going where? To his death. So maybe I should consider them as dead people, and a dead man can say Hashem. Understand? But Yitro finished with this. But Yitro heard something else. You know what? He heard that when a man wants to do a sacrifice, he wants to start to eat kosher, when the Satan Tzara, he see that a man wants to start to keep Shabbat, when a woman wants to start to do the mikveh, he will do everything to stop him. Now, it's your fight. You know it's Hashem. Yesterday you did something for Him. You sacrificed yourself for Him, or at least you showed that you want to sacrifice yourself for Him. Now you know, and then Hashem, you saw who is Hashem. So now that the Tzara come after, you have to decide who to believe, Hashem or the Tzara. It's in your hand. That's what Yitro. Yitro heard that as big as a man can be, as close a man can be, close to Hashem, the Tzara, the Satan, he will not let him go. You know, here in Hong Kong, Baruch Hashem, you have a privilege, Baruch Hashem, that here, Baruch Hashem, you have everything. You have Jewish schools, you have Baruch Hashem, you have mikvahot, you have Torah. But one thing you need: more education to Jewish education to the children. I'm sorry to tell you this, because today, with the internet, with all the tzara that there is today, you need strong children. You need to feed them with emunah. Yes, you need to feed them. You have to give them more emunah today. You know, 3 hours ago, a man came to see me, and he told me, Rabbi David, I make a lot of money here. I have Baruch Hashem, big parnasa. I have everything here. When I came here 10 years ago, I had nothing. Now I have everything. But I'm worried for my children. Believe me, I promise you, today, maybe 10 families or 12 families, I heard them telling me the same story today. All their fear is the children. The children. So, of course, my answer is, well, give them, you're the parents, because the children, whatever they can get in school, Jewish school, it's not the same what they can get in the house. What they get from the house, the school will complete. So he said, but Rabbi David, I'm worried. I told him, you know, I live in Paris. Do you think in Paris we don't have the same problems? In England, there is not the same problem. The problems are in Israel. There is no Yitzhara in Eretz Israel. There is Israel. Yitzhara everywhere. Wherever you go, there is Yitzhara. Wherever you go. But Baruch Hashem, we have the weapon. We have rabbis. We have kashrut. We have emunah. We have Hashem. We have shuls. Torah to fix sometimes for Hashem. Baruch Hashem, we give time to make money. We give time to eat. We give time to take holidays. We give time. We have time for everything. We should give some of our time to Hashem. B'khuli teruma. Hashem, he needs a donation. Do you think Hashem, he needs your donation? Do you think Hashem, he needs your donation? But what you can give to Hashem? What can you give to Hashem? What can you give to Hashem that Hashem doesn't have? What can you give him? What Hashem wants from you is your time. This is the donation that Hashem wants from you. Give me a little bit of your time. Synagogue. To take some lectures, to teach yourself how to be a Jew. Yesterday, I travel a lot, like everybody here travel a lot. And when the police took the passport, he took, look what he did. He took my passport, he took the picture, and he looked at me. A few times. In America, completely they take your picture. It's not enough for them just to look at you, but they want your picture. I go to America maybe 10 times a year. 10 times a year they take my picture. One day I was in a diplomat, I entered to New York through a diplomat way. So the one who was there was a Jew with a yarmulke. I said, can I ask for one question? He said, yes. I said, only to you I can ask because I see you are Jewish, you have a yarmulke like me. But why they have to take my picture every time? I mean, in your computer, you must have maybe hundreds of my pictures, maybe 200. Why you have? He said, well, people change. Maybe a man can do an operation. Who knows? So he didn't want to explain me exactly. I was thinking. Excuse me, I finished. After 120 years, when we arrived up there, he take the picture. What's going to be our picture? The Torah. And he will look at you. Did you accomplish this or not? Our image is the Torah. You look at it, and he will look at you. Baruch Hashem, today you have everything to be a good Jew. You have everything. You have kashrut, mikvaot, everything. So Be'ezat Hashem, you do your best. And here at Son, Shakadosh Baruch Hu give you bracha, be'atzlaha, b'riut, parnasa, Be'ezat Hashem. And I would like to say thank you to Adon Kimhi for the 2-3 days that he took for me, and to George Mahmoud to be the first one to bring me here to Hong Kong. So Kadosh Baruch Hu give you bracha be'atzlaha k'nei to all of you. That Hashem give you parnasa tova, briut k'nei. Please do me a favor. Don't forget one thing. One thing. Don't forget your identity. There was a girl who came today and she told me, Rabbi David, help me to finish with this boyfriend that I am with. Please, I know if my mother, she will know, she will kill me. Please help me. So understand that the boy was not Jew. I said, but how can you do that to your mother? I know your mother. She's a religious girl. woman, and I know your father. How can you do that? You know what she told me? She told me the mistake, she's a clever girl. She said the mistake she made, she trusted me. Why she trust me? I am only a girl, young girl. Why she trust me? She shouldn't trust me. So I told her, now, Be'ezat Hashem, I trust you. Get back to your religion. So, be careful with your children. Never trust them. Always be behind them. You know, my son is 30-year-old, Rafael. I don't trust him. Parent, he's a rabbi. He has a yeshiva. He do conference. He's a big Talmid Chacham, and I don't trust him. When it comes to Jewish education, you know, last week I screamed at him. Last week because I told him, instead of doing this, why didn't open a Gemara, study? He said, Papa, but I am older enough to know what I'm doing. I said, as long as I live, I am behind you. And you will do the same. As long as you live, you have to be behind your children. God bless you.